Hello friends, welcome back. Welcome to the 26th episode of Concepts of CISSP. We are in Domain 3, Security Architecture and Engineering, and we are exploring cryptography in some detail. So far what we have discussed is, we have discussed what is cryptography, cryptology, cryptanalysis, and then we are in a section which is called symmetric key cryptography. In symmetric key cryptography, we have seen that there is only one key which is used for both encryption and decryption. The key must be exchanged between the parties who are communicating. Like if you have two people communicating, then there should be one key, which is one symmetric key. Generally, we call this key as a session key as well, because it is for one session from a user A to user B. In our example, just to make it interesting and somewhat nostalgic, I have taken the example of a movie which is called Karan Arjun. This movie was released back in when I was in class 9, I think. It's a good movie, and I remember the characters, the two characters played by Shah Rukh and Salman. Now, with this example, I show to you that if Karan wants to communicate to Arjun and he has to send a message securely from Karan to Arjun, he needs a session key. But the problem is how we can secure this session key or symmetric key, which is used by both Karan and Arjun if they are at some distance. Of course, they can share the key, they can meet and send the, exchange the key. But if they can meet and exchange the key, what's the point? They can exchange the message as well, right? There could be a situation that they have a session key exchanged much before, and at the time of emergency or some adversary, they use this key to send the message. That is one use case. But in computer network, computer security, we have to work on a situation which can be universal, like which is applicable at all the times. Now, to solve this problem, what we have right now is a key exchange algorithm which is called Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. I explained Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm in my last example using that character Karan and Arjun, if you remember. If you haven't watched that episode, you can click on this link which is here and you can go to the video and watch how this symmetric key exchange works using Diffie-Hellman key exchange. Now, Diffie-Hellman key exchange is a beautiful mathematical process. In this key exchange process, you are sharing two numbers n and g, and then you are sharing two numbers a and b. So altogether you are sharing four numbers over unsecure channel n, g, a and b, and with this sharing you calculate two keys. One key is calculated by participant A, which is Karan here in our example, and the another key is calculated by participant B. Mathematically, these keys are having the same value. They turns out to be showing the same value. That's why we use this algorithm. The beauty is that this same value which is calculated by party A and party B is very difficult and time consuming or nearly impossible for anyone else to calculate over the over the time the message is being communicated. But there is a chance, there is a way that a person who is an attacker can intercept N, G, A and B and act as a proxy between these two participants, and acting as a proxy, he will get an advantage of manipulating these key K1 and K2. I will explain you in this video how this attack happens and what is the mechanics of this attack. Please remember this this is something which is not going to be asked in the exam for CISSP, but if you know it, it's good, it's interesting. So let's go and see how this happens. So this Diffie-Hellman key exchange process, as I explained, can fall prey to on an attack which is called man in the middle attack. Now man here is Amrish Puri, the villain. If you see my drawing, he is trying to intercept the communication between Karan and Arjun, which is participant A and participant B. This attack is also known as bucket brigade attack. So bucket brigade attack and man in the middle attack are the same thing, right? If you see in the book, they are the same thing. Now what is going to happen here, I'm just going to redraw all those characters here in my drawing board, and you will see that these participants, let's copy and paste here. You will see they are participant A, I have referred as Karan here, participant B is Arjun, and the message is still within the hand of the lady, and then you have got an attacker. Now you will see here that both Karan and Arjun, they will agree on a number n and g, which is 11 and 7 here, which is the same number which I have taken from my example in my last video. And attacker, of course, because they are exchanging this number n and g over unsecure channel, so attacker will also have this number available with him. Now both Karan and Arjun, they will agree on, or they will decide, not agree on, actually they will decide two random numbers x and y. So in this example, let's say Karan decides to use x equal to 3, Arjun decides y equals to 9, and similarly the attacker also will have some value for x and y. He will have its own random value. Please remember, this x and y is something which is secret to all three participants, so they can't share x and y. The only number they share is n and g. Now based on these numbers, Karan is going to calculate the value of a, which is 7 raised to the power 3 mod 11, which will come as 2. Arjun will also use the same method of calculating a different number b, which is 7 raised to the power 9 mod 11, which will come as 8. Now this number is going to be shared between them over unsecure or insecure channel. Now as soon as this number is gonna be shared, before that attacker will also generate two numbers A and B. Now for attacker, A will be the value which will come as 9 and B will come as the value which is gonna be come as 7. As you see here, the value of A and B for both the sender and receiver and the attacker are not same, they are all different number, right? So the value of A for Karan is 2, value of B for Arjun is 8, and here for attacker the value of A is 9, value of B is 4. Now what is going to happen is that these numbers are going to get manipulated by attacker to get advantage of. Let's see how it happens. Now what is going to happen now is, let me take those characters here again. This is the message. Now these numbers will be shared. Now what will happen? Karan is going to share this value of 2, which will be intercepted by attacker, and he will share his own value of A, which is 9, to Arjun. So Arjun will think that, okay, the number which is coming from Karan is not 2, this is 9. Again, Arjun is going to send the number 8, which will be intercepted by attacker, and he will send the number 4 to Karan. Now attacker has an advantage because he know the value of A and B shared by Karan and Arjun, but Karan and Arjun, they don't understand this thing happening in between. Now for A equals to 2, B equals to 4 value for Karan, you will see that I have marked the value of B equals to 4 in red here, because it's not the same number which is shared by Arjun, but it is the intercepted and manipulated value. Now for attacker, A is 2, B is 8, as we have seen. Now the value of A for Arjun will be 9, which is again in red, because it is intercepted and manipulated. The value of B is 8. I have written here those red number as MITM values because they are manipulated, man in the middle attack value. Now, if you see here, the keys calculated will be for Karan, it is going to be coming as 9, and for attacker, he will calculate 2 keys based on the value of A and B as 5 and 9, and for Arjun, the value of key is going to be 5. Now, the attacker has got 2 keys, one key with a value of 5 and one key with a value of 9. What he is going to do now? He is going to use this key to take advantage of the communication, like of intercepting the message in going in between. Karan is going to calculate the value of key, which is 9. It will encrypt a message with this number 9, which is going to go to Arjun. However, what is going to happen? It will never go to Arjun, because the attacker will use the value of K2, which is 9, and it will read all the message and read or modify or whatever he want to do, he can do with the message, and he will use a key which is K1, its value is 5. It will be used to send the message again to Arjun, and Arjun will decrypt it because the value of K1 and K2 here matches 5, and the same confusion will remain with Karan. He will also think that he is communicating to Arjun, but he is communicating to the attacker. So, this is how this man in the middle attack works. So, as you see here, this man in the middle attack is actually taking advantage of the insecure channel in intercepting the message which is going between party A and party B, and calculating the value of A and B, and eventually calculating the value of keys, different value of keys for a different communication between himself and party A, and from himself to party B. So, he acts as a proxy, and if sender A, which is Karan here in our example, if he sends some message encrypting with a value K1, he will use a K2 value which matches the value of K1 to decrypt it, because it has already the value of value available with him, as you have seen in the video. Now, when he sends the message back to participant B, he uses that key which matches, which is K1 here in this example, and sends the message. So, if Karan says save me, he can read the message. Instead of sending save me, he can say that I am okay, live with your life, and encrypt and send back to Arjun. So, he will not be knowing that he is in trouble or something. So, this is how man in the middle attack works in Diffie-Hellman key exchange process. So, if this attack can happen, can we use this key exchange process? The answer is yes, we can use, but we can't use for long time. The one way to use a symmetric key encryption is using symmetric key encryption, because it is easy and fast, but the key exchange we can do over asymmetric key encryption. So, we use asymmetric key operation to exchange the key, but we use real time data encryption using symmetric key, right. I will explain asymmetric key encryption in my next video. It uses public key and private key, and it costs more on CPU and memory than symmetric key operation, right. So, this is how we can get best of the both worlds: encrypt data using symmetric key, but exchange key using asymmetric key. With that note, I will end this video. If you really like this video, put a thumbs up. You can share this video with your friend who are preparing for CISSP, and subscribe to my channel for similar content. I hope my content is useful in inspiring you to pass CISSP exam, and helping you in answering the right question in the practice questions. Thank you. Thanks again.